Hate cooking but still want a solid, healthy meal? Meet your new best friend, the Sous Vide.
Wait, don't cut away yet. I know you heard sous vide, and if you're like me and you hate to cook, you're thinking, this is crazy, I can't do it. I promise, I'm gonna simplify your life. It's super easy. In fact, I'm about to go to the gym.
Normally I get boneless chicken breast, but for some reason I got the bone-in chicken breast this time, so I guess we're gonna learn to cook this together. You'll need a sous vide device. I'm using the Anova, but the brand doesn't matter, and you'll just need a container, like a pot will do. It doesn't have to be a big pot, it just has to be big enough to hold the Anova device and your food that you're cooking at the same time. You also need a plastic bag. If you're just starting out, definitely just use a Ziploc bag and make sure that it's rated for microwaving or high temperature. I'm using a silicone bag, but I definitely only committed after months of doing this. I like to start by filling up the water. Using hot water will help it get up to temperature faster. Don't make it too full because of displacement when you put the food in. The device will have a line to indicate the minimum level of water you need. So just make sure that whatever amount of water you put in it, that it at least covers that line. Next, we'll put the chicken into the bag. This is where I'm using this silicone bag for the first time, and you'll be using a Ziploc bag possibly. I didn't realize that this would have skin on it, so I'm gonna just rip off some of the skin. For seasoning, you won't need any oil at all, which is super healthy. I'm using a steak rub, but you can use any of your favorite salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of mustard and liquid aminos. Then you want to just smash everything around so the marinade in the sauce properly covers as much of both pieces or all the pieces as possible. And then you'll just seal up the bag. Finally, it's time to put this chicken in. You want to get all the air out of the bag, so leave a corner of the bag opened. Mine doesn't have a complete seal, so it's not too hard to do that, but I also want to keep the water out of the bag. And now this is where tongs come in super handy. You basically want to make sure the meat in the bag is completely submerged and also not touching the device. You'll probably have to weigh down the food, so I use like a cup of water or like a whisk or some other kitchen appliance. My sister gave me this stainless steel mesh a couple of weeks ago, and this chainmail has been great to just put over it, but this is some extra accessories you don't really need. I was using like kitchen utensils before this. As long as whatever you're using is heat resistant, should be fine. I try to make sure that there's a little space between the food and the device. I guess if it's like metal and metal is not too bad. You absolutely do not need a lid, but my sister got me the silicone lid that has a cutout for the device, so I'm using it. I used no lid for like months and it was totally fine. I've never actually sous vide chicken breast with a bone in, so I'm going to Google the time and the temperature. I usually cook my chicken breast at 150 degrees, so I'm just going to stick with that, and I'll do like 145 for the time. You'll see that there's lots of different ways you could do it. Lots of people have different recipes. The app also has its own recipes, but I'm just going to manually punch in the time I Googled. In addition to cooking time, there's also additional time for the sous vide machine to bring the water up to the desired temperature. So now we're done, we can go to the gym. It's chicken unboxing time. This is where some tongs would really be helpful. Be careful of the hot liquid in the bag. There's always some liquid during the cooking process. Oh my god, it came out so tender, so moist. It's not dry, not overcooked. Great for meal prepping. To keep things simple, I also just microwave some frozen veggies as a side. And there you have it, a no-cook way to cook. Minimal effort and super healthy. Let me know in the comments if you sous vide. Subscribe and like for more ways to simplify your life.